Today, I asked my friend Ronan to come on my new podcast and talk about quails. The only note I gave him before he came on was that he was an avid quail farmer. That was the role he was meant to play. And he just talks about quails and be just enthusiastic about all things quails. And that's basically all I'm going to tell you. But he's playing the role of an avid quail farmer. And he doesn't know that you know this. He's going to try and make it as realistic as possible. But it ends up, I guess, becoming something a little bit more than that. That's all I'm going to say. Enjoy.
I see a quill of a quail, for quail.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Jodcast experience. My name's James and I have Ben as my co-host. And today we're going to be joined by an avid quail farmer, our special guest, Ronan Green.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hey.
I love quail so much. They're my favorite.
All right.
Yeah. And
No,
you're
I
here
can
to
tell.
talk all about quail farming, and we know that you like this a lot and you're very passionate about this. So I think we're just going to kick things off. Like, tell us a bit about indoor quail farming. You know, how do you get into it? You know, what is the process and what does
Where
that
did it all
involve?
start?
So, when I was a young lad, I was about 5 years old. My neighbor invited me around to his house, and I discovered his quail drawers. These massive drawers full to the brim with quail. There was quail spilling over the top of the drawers. There were so many quail. And I was amazed by it, and I couldn't comprehend it. I wanted to become a quail farmer immediately. I immediately went home and purchased quail off the dark web because they're illegal to own in most states.
So your love of quail was just instant. You saw it and you immediately fell in love with quail and it's all about it.
I love them so much. Fun quail fact: did you know their closest living relative is the Komodo dragon? Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Liver.
But
The lizard.
The lizard.
yeah.
That's
You know the way they
interesting.
say. You know the way they say dinosaurs are like birds are like the descendants of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's really interesting.
That makes sense. I
It
can
does.
see,
It kind
yeah,
of-
I can see where that comes from.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. So you went to your uncle. What did you say was a quail farmer?
It was my neighbor.
Oh, your neighbor. Okay. So like,
Right.
would indoor quail farming be like a big scene in California?
No,
There's a niche.
it's
there.
illegal to own quail here.
Oh. You're kind of outing yourself here, are you?
I actually don't really want to talk about the origins of quail farm. It's quite a dark past.
I see.
Dark past for me.
Alright. For you and
Yeah.
everyone involved, I'd assume.
Not
what
my
exactly
neighbor.
makes
He had a great
quail-
time.
What makes quails so dangerous? Can I ask?
Probably their venom.
Their venom.
They're
Yeah.
venomous.
Yeah, they're venomous.
Really?
That's interesting.
I would
Yeah,
not have
if
known
you get
that.
bitten by a quail, common mistake. People often think that they're poisonous, but actually, they're completely safe to eat. You actually,
Really?
it's just if they bite your hand, or if you're being a little bit, oh, I have the quail in my hands, and then they bite you, and then you have about an hour before you'll go into cardiac arrest.
Damn. So
That's
would you
really
would you say they're like more dangerous than like the blue ring octopus and like animals of that nature?
I'd say they're about as dangerous as a Komodo dragon.
That makes
I'd
sense.
them
Yeah.
on- yeah.
That's like
So
they're
can I
closely
ask,
related.
Why do you farm them? If
I love eating quail meat.
Is there no
Succulent quail meat.
is there no like monetary incentive?
Not really. I drop some bags of raw quail meat off to my neighbors every now and again, but that's about it.
These the
Can I
same
ask-
neighbors that
I've
got you into
actually,
farming?
no, it's the different neighbors. I've actually gotten a restraining order from most of my neighbors because of how much meat I've delivered onto their property without their consent.
That must be a lot of meat.
So much meat. Oh.
what is the process of killing quails? Like, how do you go about that?
Well, you definitely don't want them to bite you, so usually I use a hydraulic press.
Hydraulic press. Would that be
Yeah,
considered
what's
humane?
funny? What's 1 second. Another fun quail fact: they don't feel pain, so putting them in the hydraulic press is completely fun and humane. Except the one thing about it is that they're incredibly aggressive, and the fact that they don't feel pain makes them quite difficult to stop. Bullets, you need a decent sized bullet to stop a quail.
I mean, guns are, readily available in California, so I can see that as being like not much of
you
a
could say
problem.
that. But the quails, like, they're like, they're not immune, but they're definitely more resilient than you or I. They're quite resilient.
If I was to go up against a quail in a fight, like the quail is winning.
I would bet my house on the quail beating you.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
You lose every fight to the quail.
It's like the venom, that venom gets to your head, man.
The venom. Actually, it gets to your heart and your penis. Erectile dysfunction's a side effect.
Like that one spider.
Ronan,
yeah.
Can I ask? We're talking a lot about quails here, and I just want to know, like, do you have any funny do you have any favorite stories about indoor quail farming that you want to share?
Oh yeah. So sure, yeah, I love it. So I've got a few of the old quail drawers in my house. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And one of my quails just gave birth, and then they consumed all of their young.
Is that like a normal practice for quails, or
No, it was disturbing actually. It's quite violent. It's my favorite quail story.
that's awful?
It's terrible.
How is that funny?
Why is that your favorite?
What the fuck, bro?
No further questions. No further questions.
Okay, I have more questions about indoor quail farming, specifically about outdoor quail farming. So,
Fuck
we
those
talk a lot
guys.
about-
Fuck those guys. I'm not talking about that shit. Degenerates.
Why? What is wrong with outdoor quail farmers?
The
Like, is it-
indoor quail farming community has beef with the outdoor quail farming community.
What started this beef?
Why?
What started this beef?
Yeah.
My wife.
Oh, this is a recent thing.
What did you do?
She fucked an outdoor quail farmer.
Oh.
I've never forgiven them.
That
Hey,
hatred
should clear
runs
what?
deep.
That hatred, and we're all interconnected through Allah. So
You're like a sect.
all the indoor quail farmings, they don't even realize it. But as soon as I started irrationally hating them, they also started an irrational hatred of outdoor quail farmers.
Right.
That's-
So it's
So-
mutual.
You guys read the Book of Mormon?
No.
No, I haven't.
No,
No.
you should. It's a good read.
Read. All right, I might read it after this.
I mean, you should probably start now, like right now.
Right now.
Probably.
Okay.
I mean,
I have-
what if you just drop dead? What if you just drop dead tomorrow? Like,
That's
Just
true.
going to hell, bro. You're just going to hell.
Gotta live in the present.
You gotta live in the present, man.
Yeah.
During the
Yeah.
podcast, I'd actually quite like if you read a passage right now.
Passage from the Book of Mormon. You got any favorites?
No. It's all pretty good. It's a good read. Solid read.
All right, I'll just take a random passage.
Hey, Ronan, what happens in the Book of Mormon?
Some crazy shit, man. That guy's crazy, man. That guy's a holler, a hoot and a holler, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Some of that US lingo.
Right.
What's
You know,
his name?
he's got them. His name's fucking Mormon, bro. Just call. What do you think? What do you think I'm gonna say? The Book of Mormon was written by Dale. What do you want me to say?
All right. We have a passage from Mormon himself, actually. So
that
Mormon 9:9.
Or
For do we not read that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and in Him there is no variableness, neither shadow of. That's a deep one.
That's good.
So deep.
That's good.
I
You
can
guys,
see
you guys
that.
heard that shit about the planets though? The Mormon afterlife, bro. That shit's lit. I converted like last week. I want my own
Planets?
planet. I want my own
Tell us
planet,
about it.
man.
Your own planet. So you get an
Yeah,
entire planet.
you get your planet if you're a good boy. You're a good boy.
I don't know. I feel we've kind of strayed off topic here from the quails.
Back to
quails.
Quails love God.
They
Quails
love God.
so I guess it's connected.
I mean, I do too. Yeah.
They it's funny. They set up these little like ritual altars, and they.
So
Quails.
Yeah, quails. They set up these little ritual altars.
So they have their own
sacrifice each
rituals.
other. It's crazy, man.
The quails
This
must
will
be
happen
like pretty smart creatures then to have their own rituals that they
You
follow.
could say that. I'd say more conniving than intelligent.
Conniving.
Yeah.
Right.
Do they ever try to escape your drawer?
Almost constantly. Almost constantly.
And how do you? Are there any mechanisms to keeping them inside your drawer?
What traps do you
Fire.
have?
They're afraid of fire. They don't
Fire.
like fire. So
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
usually fire will stop them.
Keep that in the
So
back pocket
what do
then.
you do? Do you have like a lighter or like how do you transport this fire and what do you do? Do you just point it in their general
Oil
direction?
lamp. Smash an oil lamp in front of if they're trying to. You know what they hate? They hate crosses. They'll run from crosses, man. It's good to. It's solid. It's a solid safety mechanism to stop quail breaks, as I like to call them.
Quail breaks.
Right. Is that a very well known term between quail farmers? A quail break.
Yeah,
They use
they
that one
always
often.
get out. They're always
trying to get out.
running. They're always running.
Would quails be invasive species?
I don't fucking know, man. Do I look like a scientist?
Bro, do you have in the quail community? I'm just curious. Do you guys have like your own lingo? Would you have terminology for certain quail events or?
Actually, all of them are in Latin, so you can't really tell you, man. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you speak a bit of Latin. Do you want to?
No, I just know. I know a few bits and bobs.
Yeah. You know what you need to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to like I know enough to be like the Dies Irae, which is the day of wrath.
Okay. Where would
okay.
you use this?
Is that a quail trying to escape there? Oh, I think a quail's almost got to him. I'll have to give him a minute to come from that. Or how dangerous they can be.
Smashing an oil lamp right now.
It's
a quail break.
It's a quail break.
Sorry for the interruption. What was I? I was talking about the Latin phrases. The day of wrath. The day of wrath. Yeah, that's something that you always hear the quails saying. They always say it in Latin. It's kind of crazy. They're always talking
Quails
about it.
speak
It's
Latin.
So quails can speak Latin.
I could speak a little bit. I wouldn't say they're speaking it. I'd say it's more they're injecting their voice into your head. That's what I. That's more what I describe it
So they're
as.
kind of psychic.
You could say that. Yeah, you could say that.
This is all like good and all, but this is making me ask: where did quails come from?
Book of Mormon again, man. You gotta read it, man. You gotta read it, man.
Does it
That's
say
all you
there?
need to know.
Hey, Ronan, have you ever like
What's up?
seeked medical help for any of these?
Medical help?
I
For what?
wonder about you, man, because I'm just not sure that this is all
Every
real.
single thing that I've told you has been a factually true statement.
Actually true.
So
I mean, I
yes,
believe
the
him.
quails speak Latin to you, and they make sacrifices on an altar. And they're
Yes.
afraid of Jesus Christ.
You'll purged in fire, James. Disbelievers will
Okay.
be purged in fire, man. Anyway, what were we talking about, man? What were we saying? What were we talking about?
All right,
I think
well,
that's where we could maybe leave today's episode.
right.
Read your Bible.
We're at 17 minutes.
I think that's a good time to end it.
Time to end it?
Yeah.
Alright. I got one final question, though. What
What's-
quail would be your favorite quail?
What type of specific quail?
Yeah, what specific quail would be your favorite quail?
That's a tough question. I love so many types of quail. I love common quails. Common quails are one of my favorite. But I also I love northern bobwhite quails. They're very nice as well. But I think if I had to choose, it'd be the Californian quail because they look funny when they walk.
I see.
Alright. And how long have you been doing quails? How long have you been working with quails?
What since I was 5, so it's about 12 years now.
12 years.
12
And it's
years
a
now.
long time to be working with these creatures.
Yeah. I'd say it is.
I'm surprised you're alive, hearing what I've heard.
Whale vet, yeah.
How do you know I am? That's what I want to know, man. How do you know I am?
Another question that we could answer in the Book of Mormon.
I'm sure it is, man. They got so much good shit in there, man.
So much shit in the book. Right.
You know, when I invited a quail farmer on the podcast, I didn't think this is what I was gonna get. I was. This has been an interesting experience.
I was definitely
glad-
expecting more farming and less quail, less God as
Yeah.
well. Religious themes.
Quails seem like very religious creatures.
They do.
They do not believe in God. They love him, but they don't believe.
That's a bit of an oxymoron there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. But usually,
Okay.
usually they'll select their own deity from among the males of the troop.
Like a chief.
No, they have clutch sizes of up to 10 quails. So there's usually a few to choose from. Quail fact.
Quail fact? Alright.
Quail fact.
Are these quails hard to transport around if you never needed to move?
Are they difficult to transport? If you follow the proper containment procedures, then you can generally get them around pretty easily.
And what does that containment procedure look like?
Enough tranquilizer to take out a rhino. That's what I'll say.
Is that per quail?
I usually just put them in a box, and then gas them all together at the same time. That shit's good, by the way. You guys use horse tranquilizer before?
Cannot say I have.
That shit's good.
Right. What's the biggest quail around?
What is the biggest quail?
Yeah.
Let me actually think about. I'd have to. I think the Californian quail's quite a small one compared to most. But I'd say if I was thinking about what quail species would be the biggest, it'd probably be the mountain quail. Female mountain quails, quite large.
Quite big. All right.
They're quite large, yeah.
That's interesting.
But human breeding has created quite large ones. So that's probably the largest wild species.
I get you.
Is there illegal quail breeding?
Like I said before, it's illegal to own them. So if you're breeding more, then you're just digging your own grave. So
how much of a fine or sentence would you get for illegal quail?
Death.
Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a steep one.
Sometimes
But
even in
understandable.
states where there's no death penalty, you'll get like shipped to Texas or something, and they'll kill you. It's crazy, man.
So
That's
let me go through a scenario. Let me go through a scenario. Assume you have a backup plan in case this happens. So the police arrive outside your door. They have a warrant to search your apartment for quails, and you
Just let them loose. Just let the quails loose and pray in the corner and hope they don't find me.
I see.
keep your oil lamp close.
I see. Okay. You're quite an interesting guy.
Who knew quail farming would be
I
so
think what you
interesting?
meant to say was I'm quite an interesting guys.
Bro, I was not expecting like the world of quail farming to be so deep and rich.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty deep. Yeah.
Is there any
Okay.
events in the quail farming community?
That's still technically on trial, so I can't really talk about it on podcast. So,
Could you
see,
like spare a hint or something? Or is any future events?
I'm just gonna let you know, man. Quails versus children. The quails win every time.
I'll take that on board.
Okay. I think it's a good time to wrap this up.
Yeah,
You think?
I'd say we've gotten all of our information we ever need to ever hear about on quails forever.
Yeah. Okay. Let me
Do
do
you know what
an
the
outro.
best do you know what the best tasting quail I don't fucking speak English, bro.
Or the Latin man.
Cortinox quails.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening to today's podcast, and thank you to my thank you for listening to today's podcast, and thank you to my esteemed guest, the quail farmer, Ronan Green. Yeah. We'll see you all next
Learned a
time.
lot.